coach by Scott Benoit. Amery in the middle border. The Baldwin Woodville Blackhawks come in with a record of 2 wins and 2 losses. They are also 1-1. Amery beginning their season with a 83-37 win over the Unity Eagles. Then traveling to Mondovi, they won there 81-58. And then last Tuesday night, they suffered their first loss of the year, 62-40. That score to the Richmond Tigers on the Tigers' home floor. The Baldwin Woodville Blackhawks defeating Spring Valley in non-conference action 50-45 to get their season going. Then a sick team. A lot of illness on the team as they traveled to Barron. They lost that one 60-50. And Sean Tim, their fine freshman guard, did not play in that contest, only to see him come back against Bloomer and score 20 points, a game in which the Blackhawks lost as well, 54-37. And according to Coach Benoit, they were not at full strength in that contest either. Then they went back to middle border conference action, and they defeated they defeated Ellsworth by a score of 64-56. So again, they defeated Spring Valley and Ellsworth. They lost to Barron and to Bloomer. We'll talk about the individuals as far as the Blackhawks are concerned and the Amery Warriors. But again, the stage is set. This should be an exciting contest. Both teams will match up a little bit better than we did against the Richmond Tigers, and both teams capable of moving the ball up and down the court. Without any further delay, let's bring in my sidekicks for tonight's action. Ray Norstead and Mike Jensen joining us during the pregame show. Yours truly coming your way from Amery. And as you look at it on your screen, our cameraman tonight, I'm happy to say, Doug Nelson back with us. So we should have a good time here this evening. Well, gentlemen, we had a good time. The first 2 outings, and thereafter, it was not so much fun. So what do you think about tonight?
Well, it's going to be an interesting ballgame, as you just mentioned, Bill. I think that our kids realize that they're just going to have to run and gun, which we did the first quarter at New Richmond. Did a very good job of it, and we could stay with anybody at that point. And when we slow down the basketball, then we have trouble. And I just think tonight, with being the home court and being our, a little bigger floor, I guess, than New Richmond's wider open, I guess, put it that way. And size-wise, we're going to match up much better. We're not going to have to play against those towers that New Richmond had. So I like for Amery to come out here and really do a good job, and for us to come out with another nice win tonight.
Definitely so. We could use some three-point shooting in this contest as well. We got a couple early in that Tiger game, and then it was just horrible from the outside. What do you think, Mike Jensen?
Well, I think that's right. There's going to be a lot of teams are going to have a rough time with Richmond. The encouraging thing about that was that Amery played them pretty strong in the first quarter, and I think a couple things happened there. Is that Elwarski did a little change and did some zone defense that kind of slowed us up a little bit. And the fact is that our kids really aren't sure that they can win the games. They didn't come out very strong in the second half and got behind, and the game kind of got away from us. And I think that Amery's got to learn to win, and Richmond has been always winning and expected to win. But I think Amery's got the capability to go out and win a lot of games this year. And I think they just got to forget about Richmond and come out and play against Baldwin. Baldwin, of course, is a good team. As we said earlier this year, that coach was talking in the paper that in the years he's been there, that this seems to be one of his better crews he's put together. And I think that they've got some potential to go out and really put on some good games, and I think you saw that down in Ellsworth.
Okay, quickly, give us a report on the JV, and then we're going to send you on your way till halftime, Mike.
Well, the JV was involved in another close game. As we reported last time, there was a game that was scored tonight was 42-34, and Wold led the way with 10 points. Tony Gagnon with 8. Tim Sondrell with another 8. Johanson with 6. Maxon with 4. Brotzel with 2. Holmes with 2. And Ellingsworth with 2. So it's a good scoring.
Okay, you gave us the score and the individual scoring. I assume if you add all those up, that comes out better than the Blackhawks, and we won that one.
42-34.
Amery's the big winner. That's what you're looking for. Amery's the winner.
I was going to save that for last.
Okay, thank you very much, Mike. We'll talk to you at halftime.
All right, thank you.
And we'll be back with the coach's comments here on WXCE Radio Sports right after this one. Once again, everyone, Bill Haig along with Ray Norstead. Both teams down on the floor warming up. The Baldwin Woodville Blackhawks down off to our left will be decked out in the white jerseys and shorts with the black and red numerals, lettering, and stripes. And the Amery Warriors down off to our right will be in their home uniforms, the red jerseys and shorts with the black and white numerals, lettering, and stripes. Coach Steve Wilhelm at the helm for Amery and Scott Benoit for the Baldwin Woodville Blackhawks. quickly, let's move to the starting lineups, and then we'll hear from the coaches. At guards tonight for Amery, number 32, Marcus Wilhelm at 5'10", a junior, and 34, Gabe Brotzel at 6'3", a senior. The forwards, 40, Matt Koppinger at 6'1", a junior, and 54, Jake Ginter at 6'2", a senior. And the center, 55, is Scott Jensen at 6'7", a senior. So it's going to be Wilhelm, Brotzel, Koppinger, Ginter, and Jensen for Amery, the same as they did against the New Richmond Tigers. Looking at the Baldwin Woodville Blackhawks, the guards, number 4, Sean Tim at 6 foot, a freshman, and their leading scorer. The other guard, number 10, Brian Rich at 6 foot, he is a sophomore. The forwards, number 11, is Matt Davis at 5'11", a senior, and 32, Scott Peavy at 6'1", a junior. And the center, 44, Brad Nadeau at 6'3", a junior. So it will be Tim, Rich, Devos, Peavy, and Nadeau starting tonight for the Baldwin Woodville Blackhawks. Well, the starters out of the way. Let's move quickly and get the coaches' pregame comments. First of all, Amery coach Steve Wilhelm.
This is probably the best Baldwin team now that they've had in about 3 or 4 years. Good quickness out front. Reich and Sean Tim, a freshman, very good players. We're going to have to do a good job in controlling them. We'll see pressure tonight. Probably for the first time this year, we'll have to deal with that. And hopefully we can hurt them a little bit inside. We still have good quickness, so hopefully that won't be a real big factor. But I'm concerned about how well we play tonight after, a poor second half against New Richmond. So we'll see a little character hopefully tonight, and hopefully we'll play real well. And we need this one, being that it's a conference game and at home. We can't afford to lose one tonight, so hopefully we'll play well.
There again, the pregame comments of Amery coach Steve Wilhelm. And the opening festivities taking place here at the Warriors' home gymnasium. And as that continues with House announcer Sherm Grunland, let's move now to Blackhawk coach Scott Benoit.
After suffering a week of some illness, we went into the Ellsworth game, 1-2, played real well on Tuesday night, and were able to get some balanced scoring and some good leadership from the point guard position. So it was a good chance for all our players to get healthy and get a win in the conference season. We're looking for an extremely tough ball game tonight. We hope that we can negate some of Amery's size by utilizing some of our quickness out front. For the first time in a couple of seasons at Baldwin Woodville, we're able to go a little bit deeper on the bench, and we feel that that's going to be an advantage for us, not only tonight, but in some of the other conference games to come. And now we realize that I'm sure Amery's going to be ready to play after playing a tough New Richmond ball club and suffering their first defeat on the year, but we really feel that if we can stay with them on the boards and handle some of their pressure defense that they've employed this year, that we're going to be in pretty good shape.
There again, the comments of Scott Benoit, the coach of the Baldwin Woodville Blackhawks. And down on the floor, the introduction of the starters taking place. And as they conclude with that, let's go back now for this 30-second timeout. Welcome back, everyone. Bill Haig along with Ray Northston. Glad to have you along on this cold Friday evening from Amery. Nice and warm inside, and I guess some warmer weather on the way before the weekend concludes.
Well, I hope anyway.
We hope anyway, yes. We hope all that expensive weather gear that our neighbors to the west on the various television stations, well, let's hope they read them right and that it comes true. 40 will seem pretty nice after what we're going to experience tonight. As I mentioned that, we're underway here with action. The tip controlled by Amery. Scott Jensen going high, and it's going to be Wilhelm bringing it across. Goes to Koppinger. He hit an open lane on the left side. Feeds underneath to Ginter. He tried the shot, blocked nicely. He'll try it again after the rebound, and a foul down low. And a tough break for the Blackhawks. Number 44 called for the first time. Brad Nato, the 6'3" junior. And a shooting fall will send Jake Ginter, the 6'2" senior, to the line. Well, the size working at center court to get things going, Ray, and we'll have to wait and see what happens down low. But there again, on that drive by Koppinger, he had an open lane and elected to pass off, and I think he had a clear shot himself.
Well, he might have, but he looked for Jake under the basket, and it was a good pass. It just Jake wasn't able to handle it cleanly and get the shot off right away, so he gets fouled in the process. But hopefully we'll make the 2 free throws.
Well, the way Jake Ginter with a fine game against the Richmond Tigers, so he has matured and is showing a lot of savvy down low, as well as any other place on the court. So a welcome addition to that starting 5. The free throw on the way by Ginter is good. So Ginter scores for the first time tonight. The first point on the board. Amery 1-0, and Ginter will try it again. Just underway from the Amery High School Gymnasium, where Ginter puts the second one through, and the Warriors on top by a couple. Well, full-court pressure by the Amery Warriors. It is Brotzel trying to put pressure on Brian Richard. Brings it across on the right side. A good dribble. He brings himself by. Pulls up in the circle. Comes near side to number 44, Nadeau. Nadeau trying to go down low to the freshman Tim. The ball is bobbled around and goes out of bounds on the baseline. And it will be Amery from there. So the Blackhawks do not get a shot on basket. Amery will bring it down. Inbound pass goes to Gabe Brotzel, the 6'3" senior. Across on the left side, picked up by Brian Rich, the 6' sophomore. Left side to go to Marcus Wilhelm in the lane. It's the big guy. Jensen almost had it stripped. Now a scramble for it, picked up by Tim. The freshman took it away to Rich. Into the front court for the first time to DeVos. A fadeaway jump shot on the baseline is good. And the Blackhawks tie it up 2-2. Amery down quickly. It is Koppinger across on the right side, guarded by number 11. All right, that's DeVos, Matt DeVos, the 5'11" senior. Amery in the front court. They go to Brotzel. Jump shot from the lane is up and good. And Brotzel hits for the first time, and it's 4-2. Amery by a couple. Sean Tim, the freshman, goes right side of the backcourt to Matt DeVos. He tries to split the defense, gives off on the near side to Brian Rich. Rich races across against Brotzel and pulls up top of the key. Well, as Coach Scott Benoit mentioned, Ray, they have some quickness, and they are showing it here as they bring it down. And as they try a shot, wow, Scott Jensen went high and pulled down a rebound and tried to hit the open man in the front court, Gabe Brotzel, and the pass a little bit too long and out of bounds on the far side. So a turnover on the Warriors, and the Blackhawks will have it from across the way. Inbound pass to Brian Rich, the sophomore. And he'll bring it down slowly this time, met by Gabe Brotzel as he comes across on the right side. Bounce pass to the post, and a drive down the left side by Nadeau. One put up off the glass and good, and Nadeau scores for the first time. And the Blackhawks tie it now 4-4. As I mentioned that, you hardly have a chance to write anything down, and Amery has her down court. Koppinger tried a shot from the near side, no good. The rebound tipped out of bounds off of Amery, and out of bounds to the Blackhawks on the far side.
Interesting call. I didn't think that the Warriors touched it, but evidently we did.
Well, the referee right down on the baseline, as you've said to me many times, Ray.
Yeah, right. He's right there.
All right, Rich brings it across at midcourt, picked up by Brotzel. Here's a pass almost taken away by Koppinger. He tried it twice and got it the second time, brings it down. Dishes on the near side, past Brotzel. He had to come back and get it. They'll clear it out on top. Big guy down low. Who's there? It is Ginter, and Ginter puts it up and good. Nice pass by the big guy.
Absolutely. Nice speed in there by Scott, taking the ball high in the key and just dropping it right down into the basket.
5:34 to go, first quarter. Just underway here from Amery. The Warriors with a 2-point lead over the Baldwin Woodville Blackhawks. And as they try to go inside, we've got a whistle and a call down low. It's going to go against number 55. That is Scott Jensen, the 6'7" senior. So Jensen picks up number 1, the first foul on the Amery Warriors. And the Blackhawks will throw it in from the baseline. It'll be Sean Tim, the fine 6-foot freshman, to do that. Comes inside to the DeVos. Out on top, Brian Rich with the basketball, guarded by Brotzel. He hands off to Nadeau, who tries a 2-pointer from way out. No good. Rebound comes down and put up by DeVos. And DeVos hits for the second time. It's now 8-6. The Blackhawks. Well, let me take another look. Let's make it 6-6. It's a tie ball game. As Amery in the front court quickly again. Koppinger drives in the lane, dumps down low to Ginter, looking inside. Ginter holds on, now drives down the baseline, dished off to the big guy Jensen, called for traveling. And a substitution in there for the Blackhawks, number 32 for the first time. That is Scott, wait a minute, that's one of the starters. I've got him. No, that's right. He was in there. I thought we had an extra number in there. That's not correct. It's Scott Peavy, number 32. So no substitution, status quo. And it is still 6-6, and the Blackhawks will bring it down with a chance to go ahead. And a lane shot put up and no good as they came down. Brian Rich tried it, and a foul on the rebound. Rich, after missing the shot, tried to get the basketball back, and he is called. That would be his first. And now Amery will have to take it the length of the court. 4:47 to go. This is the first quarter. 6-6 tie. Middle Border Conference High School boys basketball here on WXCE Radio Sports. Bill Haig along with Ray Norstead. Wilhelm across going to the free throw line to Ginter down low. Check that with Brotzel, who went down low to Jensen. He tried one underneath. No good. Rebound comes down to Tim. The freshman on the run into the front court. Splits the defense. Puts one up there. No good. Rebound. Koppinger had it. Tipped away. Out of bounds off the legs of Brian Rich and out of bounds to Amery. So Jensen will throw it in again.
Got some real fast action going here tonight. Again, Bill, it'll keep you busy anyway.
Well, it'll be quite in contrast to the Richmond game, no doubt about it, even though the Tigers moved it pretty well against Amery. And as I mentioned, that Amery in the front court. Koppinger goes down low to Brotzel as he tries to go around the defense. We've got a call on Rich, number 2. So the sophomore picks up his second. It's still 6-6, and Amery will have it from the baseline. Marcus Wilhelm will throw it in for Amery. Here's a substitution now for the Blackhawks, number 14. That should be Hansen. Yes, Gary Hansen, who has started this season. And Brian Rich will come out of there. And Amery will throw it in from the baseline. Goes to Koppinger. Baseline shot put up. No good. Rebound tipped out of bounds. It should be Amery's ball. It is not. It is called off of either Ginter or Wilhelm and out of bounds to the Blackhawks. Inbound pass goes to Sean Tim. Back to the right side, the man who threw it in, Matt DeVos. And he'll bring it across and comes near side to Tim. Guarded by Brotzel out high on the left side. Now left-handed dribble down the left side of the key. Right side they go. That is Peavy. And the ball taken away by Brotzel. Loose into the front court. Here comes the driving layup. Got hacked good. Well, Sean Tim caught up to him and made sure that the basket would not go through. But Brotzel will be going to the line. And Tim picks up his first foul.
Well, one of those situations again when they get the wide open basket, they're going to make sure they don't get the shot off. I don't know. I think those are situations that they don't call them flagrant, but they could be called that way. Well, I'm concerned anyway.
Well, he certainly meant business, but there again, he got the job done. And if he got away with something, he got away with it, no doubt about it. It's still 6-6 as Brotzel steps in. The free throw is on the way, and it is no good. Hit the front, bounced to the back, and came off. So, Gabe with 2 points in the ball game. We'll try it again. Brotzel's free throw is on the way. No good. Rebound comes down to the big guy, Jensen. He'll put it back up there, and it rolls through. Jensen hits from the lane, and it's now 8-6. Amery by a couple. In the backcourt, the pressure put on by Amery, and a turnover caused Matt Lindy, and they're ended up with the basketball, but it's knocked away by Nadeau and taken away by Amery again. Koppinger ends up with it, comes down the lane and puts it in. Koppinger with his first 2 points in the ballgame. Now he steals a pass, a lead pass into the front court, and Amery will go on offense again. Maya Fredrickson in there on the near side, and before he can do anything, a whistle and a call, and somebody trying to get some room. I'm not sure where this is coming from.
Brad Nadeau that time pushing off on House.
Number 2 on Nadeau. Matt Lindy in there, as I mentioned. Number 22 for the Amery Warriors. We'll throw it in from the baseline along with Maya Fredrickson in there. Lindy to throw it in from this side of the hoop. It'll go to the big guy, Jensen. Open shot put up and good. Wow, he goes up and he gets all that much closer, and he made that one go through. So now it is 12-6, Amery with that lead. As Sean Tim races across, tried to chuck one down the middle, intended for Peavy. He was rejected, picked up by Tim. They go to the right side to Peavy. He tries a shot. It is good, and he draws a foul. Nice play on the right side.
Absolutely. Nice pass that time over there, and good shot by Peavy, and a ball by Scott.
So the House will pick up number 2. Nadeau has 2 for the Blackhawks, as does Brian Rich. Sean Tim with 1. And the 2 fouls in the contest for Amery. As we can see it from here, the House has a couple, and that's it. Now Ginter coming back in along with Wilhelm. They had a momentary rest. The House is out of there. So it's going to be Lindy, Fredrickson, Wilhelm, Koppinger, and Ginter for the Amery Warriors. And staying in there is Nadeau. Number 14, Gary Hansen in there. Peavy at the line, shooting for the bonus. And on the way it is off the back of the rim. Oh, good. Maya Fredrickson with an easy rebound. So the Amery Warriors in the front court. On the left side to go to Maya Fredrickson. Back out to Wilhelm. And three-point range does not go. Now he'll step to the free throw line. Throws one up there. No good. Rebound tipped out of bounds. Oh, wow. The referee missed one there. The rebound definitely off the hand of Matt Devon, as we saw it from here, as I saw it, rather. And they call it, they give it to the Blackhawks out of bounds. All right, the inbound pass goes to Gary Hansen. And he will go to Nadeau. Back to Hansen, guarded closely by Lindy as he brings it across on the right side and gives off to Tim. Sean Tim out high on the right side. Near side to go to Nadeau. Down the lane trying to go, and he just got stuck down there. But they call a foul on Ginter, and Ginter picks up number 1. Boy, I don't know. That was a computer call.
Well, somebody took a slap in there. I'm not so sure who it was, but somebody got a little arm instead of the ball.
12-8 is our score. The Amery Warriors leading by 4. Inbound pass after that fall down low. The Blackhawks bring her out on top to Sean Tim. Near side, Gary Hansen. He'll try it for 3. It is good. Gary Hansen hits from the near side, and now we're looking at a 1-point contest. Oh, they call it a 2 points. They call it 2 points. He certainly started in three-point range. Apparently, they stepped on the line, so it's 12-10. Amery in the front court, leading by 2. Lindy on the near side, bounce pass in the lane to Koppinger. He did well to hang on. Back to Lindy from the lane, left-handed shot, put up 3. No good rebound. Now comes down to Brad Nadeau. Giving off on the near side to Tim. Tim against Lindy brings it across. Out on top they go. That is Nadeau from the post. A jump shot put up, missed the whole works. Rebound pulled down by Koppinger. Koppinger will race her down for the Amery Warriors. Picked up by Hansen. Down low he goes to Fredrickson. Underneath he had Ginter. Through his hands, picked up by Wilhelm. Drives the lane. Shot put up off the glass. Missed. Rebound comes down to Nadeau. Nadeau gives off to Sean Tim. Tim brings it across. Stopping at the top. The key picked up by Wilhelm. Near side they go. That is, DeVos. As they feed inside, the ball missed by Nadeau. Picked up by Amery. Into the front court they go to Koppinger. Left side pull-up jump shot off the glass is good by Koppinger. 4 points for Koppinger. And it's now 14-10 Amery, and the Blackhawks throw it away. Well, as they tried to bring it down the right side, well, I'm not sure. I'll tell you what happened. We've got a couple of subs coming in here, and I think that Matt DeVos picked one out and wanted to throw him the basketball, and of course they could not receive it. They were not in the game yet, and it would have been number 50 having the best chance there. That is Spencer Whitestruck.
I think you're absolutely right that they were going over to the scorer's table to check in, and he saw a movement over there and threw the ball to him.
Okay, Amery's basketball with a 4-point lead. 1:06 to go, first quarter. Maya Fredrickson on the near side goes to Brotzel down low. He muscles his way through the defense, puts it up, and it's good. And Brotzel now with 4. 16-10, Amery by that much. 55 seconds to go, first quarter. Hansen across for the Blackhawks. Near side they go. Whitestraw out on top to the freshman. Tim tries it for 3. No good. Rebound, Brotzel. He's got a man in the front court. Wilhelm doing well to hang on. Throws it back under the basket to Brotzel, and Brotzel puts it in for 2. Give him 6. It's now 18-10. The Amery Warriors as Sean Tim brings her down. Comes near side to Wickstra. Shot put up. No good. Rebound for it is Fredrickson and Wickstra. Or Whitestraw maybe. And nonetheless a jump ball, so the Blackhawks will have it from out of bounds. Number 25 in there, that is Jesse Berg, will throw it in from the baseline. 29.9 seconds to go in the first quarter on the Pepsi scoreboard. It goes out high to Berg. I thought he was going to throw it in. It was Hansen. Hansen goes down low, and a pass from Berg intended for Hansen gets by him out of bounds to Amery with 25 seconds to go. Well, a chance for a 10-point leader to close out the first quarter, Ray.
Be kind of a nice way to end the first quarter, I think, at this point. Baldwin definitely showing some quickness, but the Amery's press being successful so far.
Definitely so, but this game far from being over. The Blackhawks have not warmed up yet offensively. But you mentioned that Amery defense working well here in the first quarter. Well, we're down inside 10 seconds. Wilhelm drives the near side. Out on top, they go to Brotzel. I'll get a chance for a three-pointer. They'll call it for traveling. Wow, that's the last thing you want to get hooked on again. We started doing that against the Richmond Tigers. And I think, Gabe, you just about have to be thinking. He was thinking about a three-pointer and then decided to drive and got caught up. 2 seconds. And now we got that traveling called on the Blackhawks as Jesse Bird took the inbound pass, and he did a sidestep. And so the house will come in for 1.4 seconds to go. And are they going to try to go down low to the big guy, or are we going to try from the outside here? Koppinger will throw it in, and we'll go down low. We made a three-pointer last time we tried this, but of course it did not count. And this one is going to be intercepted by number 42 in there for the Blackhawks momentarily, Ryan Paul. Our first quarter is history. Amery leads at 18-10, and we're back in 1 minute. Well, Amery with the 8-point lead will have position to get things going here in the second quarter, and it was Wilhelm who went down low to the big guy. Scott Jensen missing from the left side. The rebound to Wilhelm, who promptly puts it up and in. So Wilhelm now with his first points in the ball game. Koppinger, I beg your pardon, not Wilhelm. And Koppinger with 6. It is now 20-10 Amery by that much. And Sean Tim will try it for 3 from the outside as Baldwin got the ball down quickly. And on the rebound, after he missed the shot, it was tapped into the hands of Johanson, who's standing on the baseline. And the referee promptly calls him out of bounds. So Amery will bring her down again. 18-10, Amery headed after 1. They lead it by 10 now, 20-10. Amery in the front court. They go to House at the post. A shot put up and good. And no hesitation by the big guy. Give him 6. So it's now 22-10, Amery by 12, and the Blackhawks having trouble getting the ball in, called timeout. 22-10, Amery by 12 in the second quarter. We're back in 1 minute. Well, Scott Benoit talking things over with his Blackhawks. The Warriors back out on the floor, and they will get another chance to throw it in here as they find themselves down to the Amery Warriors, 22-10. The Blackhawks 2-2 on the year. Amery 2-1. Both teams 1-1 in the conference. Amery suffering their first loss of the year Tuesday night to Richmond, and the Blackhawks winning over Ellsworth. Well, they bring it down good this time. Now whip around the perimeter in the front court. Gary Hansen going to Nadeau, guarded closely by Koppinger on the far side. Holding on, looking, now finally gives off in the far corner. A shot put up and no good by DeVos. Rebound comes down to Nadeau, stripped of the basketball by Wilhelm. And Amery on the run into the front court. Wilhelm with a beautiful pass to Brotzel. Comes down low, missed the shot, but I think it's going to be Hansen called for the foul.
It is. It was just a nice pass, though. He definitely picked out the lead man, got the ball at the Brotzel, and had a chance for 2.
Well, I think Marcus was going to race it down, and he thought, well, maybe I'll just take a little vacation here because Brotzel's down already, and he hit him with a nice pass, but Hansen caught up to him. But here, Gabe will step to the line. He is 0 for 2, 6 points on the evening. And again, we mentioned Amery, 22, Baldwin, Woodville, 10. 6:49 to go, and this is the first half. Ginter is back in there for Amery, and at the free throw line, Brotzel does not connect, so he's 0 for 3. Number 42, let's take a look here. Ryan Paul still in there for the Blackhawks. The second one made by Brotzel. With that, give him 7, and Amery's lead now 13. Nadeau across on the right side with the basketball after the pass. And over and back, calling the Blackhawks. Tough break as Brian Rich came across and had the ball in air before his feet hit the front court. So a turnover there, and Amery will get it back.
That is a tough break right there.
Well, it happens once in a while, though, doesn't it, Ray?
Yeah, it does. It's just one of those memory lapse, I guess, let's put it that way.
There again, you know, it's not. It was not Brian Rich's fault. He's the man who gets called, but what can he do? I guess he has to just kind of avoid the ball until somehow he can. But as we mentioned, that a turnover by the Amery Warriors in the front court, and the Blackhawks back on offense. Again, the full court pressure by the Warriors, but the Blackhawks break it easily this time as Rich comes down, had a nice pass in the lane to none other than Gabe Brotzel. All by himself took it away, and Amery in the front court. Wilhelm goes in the lane to Ginter, near side Koppinger. Pull-up jump shot on the way is going to be short. Rebound, Koppinger slapped it out of there. And they call him on the baseline, and out of bounds to the Blackhawks.
Good call by the official that time. He went back out of bounds to try and knock the ball back in, but you can't step on the line and hit her in.
All right, 6:13 to go first half. 23-10, Amery by that much. The Blackhawks against the Amery full court pressure, and they bring her down. Nadeau on the right side will pull up, dumps down low, and it's going to be out of bounds. Well, Paul tried to chase it out of bounds, and in doing so, he ended up on the baseline again, so Well, I'll tell you, they're both hugging that line here tonight.
I think that showed a little bit there that Baldwin's just lack of experience, I think, with some of the younger players they got there. They're trying to break the press, and they get going a little too fast themselves and not under control.
And as you mentioned, that Amery in the front court, Koppinger out high on the right side. Gives off to Wilhelm, top the key out near the center circle. Now goes in the lane to Brotzel. He gets an avenue, goes down low, puts it up off the glass, and it's good. Koppinger now with 8. Or check that. Was that Koppinger or Brotzel? Brotzel, all right. Brotzel, let's give him 9. It is 25-10, a 15-point game for Amery. And Amery's defense tenacious as we have a drive put up by Brian Rich in the lane. A shot, no good. Lead pass for Koppinger. He cannot catch up to it in the front court. Off him and out of bounds to the Blackhawks as Peavy will come back in and Gary Hansen will get a rest for Baldwin Woodville. Still 25-10, 5:22 to go in the first half. Peavy fresh into the game again. We'll throw it in from the baseline. And let's see, it goes to Rich. Brian in the backcourt looking at Peavy. Now dribbles down the right side or tried to. Caught by the trap, needs help. Wow, he really needs help. Gets it off to Peavy. Peavy whips her into the front court, and they try to go down low. It's tipped by Jensen. Did they see it or not? It looked like it was tipped from here.
I don't think so. He just threw it that far.
Well, Ryan Paul, is he either up-and-coming quarterback or what? Well, he really whipped that basketball, and the way it took off, I thought maybe the big guy tipped it, but the referee says no. It'll be out of bounds to Amery in the backcourt.
Once again, a situation where Baldwin had the man wide open going to the basket, and they just completely overthrew him.
Well, of course, he had a big guy go over, under, around to get him the ball. As I mentioned, that Amery in the front court. Quickly, they go down to the big guy. Jensen misses one inside. Tipped out, picked up by Brotzel. Drives the near side. Gives off to the Koppinger. In lane he goes. Trying to get a shot off, and we've got what? We've got foul called against maybe Nadeau. Let's take a look. If so, that would be number 3. Well, I don't know what you do in that case, Ray. Koppinger drives in. They're waiting for him to shoot. He doesn't have a good handle on the basketball, so it's kind of delayed, and everybody's hands are down there, and they're trying to play it safe, and he commits them somehow, and Nadeau picks up number 3. Tough break.
As far as I'm concerned, they probably could have called either a jump ball, or they could have called even traveling on that particular call.
They could have probably called a lot of stuff. There was a lot.
Fortunately for us, they called a foul.
It was a garbage play. At the line, Koppinger puts it through. Now with that, give him 7, and it's 26-10. Well, you take a look at the Blackhawks. They have not scored in this quarter. 4:52 to go. Koppinger to try it again. The shot is on the way, and it's good. So Koppinger now with 8. And it's 27-10. The Blackhawks will throw it in. Good pass to Peavy at half court. Brings it across speed on the knee side. They go to Paul. A driving layup put up and good. And Ryan Paul does not miss. And the Blackhawks score for the first time in this second quarter. 27-12. Amery by that much. And as Matt Lindy comes down the left side, he tries to drive down low. Sean Tim comes out to meet him, and Tim called for a foul. That would be number 2 on the freshman. And that'll send Lindy to the line, shooting 1-1 as Ginter comes back in, and Koppinger out of there for a rest.
Something about Coach Wilhelm. He definitely keeps fresh boys in there all the time, keeps rotating them, and it's nice to have that bench strength so you can afford to do that.
Lindy at the line, left-handed shooter, free throw, no good. Rebound, pulled down by Paul. The Blackhawks will run into the front court. Brian Rich across on the near side, picked up by Lindy, still with a dribble drive, goes inside, right side they go to DeVos, out on top to Rich. Rich to set things up, right side they go to DeVos. Matt gets it back as they keep it on the far side over there, looking for one certain thing here to open up. Now Rich goes to the post, goes right side corner, that is DeVos, back to Rich, 3-point attempt on the way is good. Rich hits for the first time tonight for the Blackhawks, and all of a sudden, we're looking at a 27-15 game. Amery in the front court. Jensen in the lane will put it up. It is no good. Rebound tipped out, chased down by Fredrickson, right near the timeline. Left side to go to Gabe Brotzel. Guarded closely by Rich. Wants to go to the big guy. He's got him on the baseline. Into Ginter in the lane, steps by the defense, puts it up, and it's good. Ginter, give him 6. And wow, he is really, he knows his way down low this year. He's just in that Richmond game, the first game of the year for him.
Technical foul on somebody from Baldwin. I think number 4 is Sean Tim.
Oh, wait a minute. And I think it's on Scott Jensen.
Oh.
Number 4 or 55.
Oh, it is. That's interesting.
So Tim is going to step to the line. Third foul on the house, so that evens things up here as Nato is on the bench for the Blackhawks, and Tim puts it through for his first point in the ball game. Well, he had 20 against Bloomer. The second one is good also by Sean Tim. And this is the last thing you want to do. You want to maintain control here. 29-17, Amery with the lead. But at one point, they led by 17 points. Now the lead is reduced to 12. Blackhawks with the basketball. Sean Tim goes inside to Paul, left side to Peavy, gets down low, tries a shot, and it is good. And as I mentioned earlier, the Blackhawks have not warmed up offensively, and now they start to. Koppinger comes in, and a foul called on the Blackhawks. Well, I'll tell you, I think we had a little dramatic acting down there that time on Spencer Wykstra as he picks up number one as Koppinger tried to go around him. Wykstra went down fast, and maybe if he goes down slower, he gets the call to go the other way.
Yeah. And once again, the Warriors are doing a good job of pressing that ball or down the floor fast, and Baldwin not ready for it. They're just hardly getting down, and the Warriors are right there with them.
Koppinger at the line, and he'll be shooting a couple, or a one-on-one, I should say, and the first one missed. So Amery's free throw shooting not all that great this season, even though Koppinger 2 out of 3 tonight for the line. Brian Rich in the front court after the Blackhawks get the rebound. 29-19, it's a 10-point game. Here's Rich in the lane. Lost control, picked up by Wykstra. Here cleared out to Peavy. Peavy drives the left side, goes in the lane, puts it up. It's going to be good. Peavy hits for the second time inside, give him 6. Now it's an 8-point basketball game, and the momentum on the side of the Blackhawks. Here's Brotzel top the key, and near side to go to Wilhelm. Wanted to go. Now he'll drive down to the baseline. Had it tipped away by the freshman Tim. In the lane they go to Ginter, and Ginter, who gets in there, puts it up and off the glass, and it goes through. Ginter with 8 points. Good balanced scoring on the part of Amery, and it's 31-21. Amery back to a 10-point lead. Brian Rich across, going right side to Peavy. Guarded by Koppinger, steps through the defense, puts one up, no good, but a foul on the right side. They will call Wilhelm. Number 1 on the 5'10" junior. 2:26 to go in the first half. And again, it will be.
I'm interested to shoot this because there's not enough balls over there.
Well, they're gonna call him fouled in the act of shooting is what they're calling.
Well, it didn't look to me like he was in the act of shooting, but I guess they thought he was.
Well, Peavy puts it through with that, give him 7, now 8 as he makes them both, and the Blackhawks to within 8 points, 31-22. Wilhelm across on the near side. Alley-oops left side to Brotzel. Left alone for a three-pointer. It is no good. Rebound pulled down by Paul. Given off to Brian Rich across on the right side for the Blackhawks. Picked up by Wilhelm. Pulls up at the top of the key. Goes to Wykstra. On top, Sean Tim guarded by Brotzel. In the lane he goes. Puts one up. It is no good. Rebound pulled down by Brotzel. Gabe with a good rebound into the front court to Maya Fredrickson on the near side. Bounce pass across the lane, taken away by Sean Tim. The race is on. Here comes the layup. It is going to be good. Sean Tim now with 4, and it's 31-25. Wilhelm will bring it across for the Amery Warriors as they see that big lead has whittled down to almost nothing here. Brotzel on the near side tries it for 2, missed the whole works. Rebound. Ginter underneath. He's looking. Clears it out on top to Koppinger with 1:27 to go. In the Brotzel they go. He had it tipped away by Tim, and they'll call it off of Brotzel and out of bounds to the Blackhawks. So the Blackhawks can narrow it some more. It's a 6-point contest right now. Peavy throws it into Tim. Back to Peavy. Full court pressure by Amery. 1:20 to go to close out the half. Peavy just got it. Brings her down. Goes to Wykstra. Underneath, he tries it off the glass. No good. Rebound fought for Peavy in the lane. Puts it up. It is good. Wow, it's rolling by way of the Blackhawks now. 31-27, a 4-point contest as Wilhelm will bring it across with 1:03 to go. Marcus on the near side for Amery. Now they go to Ginter coming out of the lane. Near side, guarded by Paul to Wilhelm. Tim on him. Near side to Ginter looking down low. Jensen on the bench. Nato for the Blackhawks on the bench. Here is Wilhelm driving to the near side, going to Fredrickson. Maya holds on. Out top they go to Brotzel. Left side to Wilhelm. Tim on him to Fredrickson. Right side Ginter near the baseline. Taking a look. Guarded closely by Paul. Now drives in, comes back out to Koppinger, to Wilhelm, top of the key. Wilhelm takes a look at the bench, and the coach says we'll settle for one shot on basket to close things out here. Wilhelm coming to the near side with a dribble. Gives off to Koppinger. Out on top, Ginter with 18 seconds to go. Wilhelm looks at the clock. Guarded by Tim, left side of the key. Down low, they go to Koppinger. He was close. Back out with the basketball to Wilhelm, top of the key. We're down to 8 seconds. Now he drives the right side, goes up, jump shot put up, no good, but a foul called on one of the Blackhawks. Sean Tim, the freshman, called for the third time tonight. Well, that's a tough break for the Blackhawks. It comes with 5 seconds to go.
Well, absolutely. And one thing you mentioned earlier, that the Warriors need to start making some of these free throws. How many times have we gone to the line here tonight and come back empty-handed? You can't afford to do that.
Well, we missed 4, and we put in 3.
And so those 4 were probably all 1-and-1, so that you not only missed 4, but you missed the second shot there.
Good point. And there again, Wilhelm at the line will be shooting a couple. The first one is on the way, and it is no good. Now, he was fouled in the act of shooting. I was just going to say, I hope they're going to give him 2 shots this time around. And he misses the front end. That was a big play, though. Sean Tim picking up number 3 in the closing seconds. Wilhelm, the second free throw is in and out rebound tipped by Ginter, and they're going to call him for a foul coming over the top, and he was kind of set up for that. So Ginter picks up number 2. Bring her down. No, we will not. I was just going to say bring her down to the other end of the court, but that'll only be the 16th foul on Amery. So that's a plus there with 3.3 seconds to go. The Blackhawks will have to bring it the length of the court. 31-27, Amery by 4. As Nadeau is going to come in now in the closing moments, and Wykstra coming out of there, and Scott Benoit wants a basket or something here to close things out. It goes to Nadeau in the backcourt at half court. Right side, he threw it away. They did not get a shot off, and our halftime score from Amery on this Friday evening. The Amery Warriors 31. The Baldwin Woodville Blackhawks 27. Back to talk about it after this 2-minute timeout. 31-27. Amery leading Baldwin Woodville by 4 points. And I'll tell you, in that second period, at one point, Amery, I believe, led it by 17, 27-10 before the Blackhawks finally got rolling. And all it took, Ray, was for me to say that the Blackhawks had not scored in that quarter, and 2-3 seconds later, they put one in, and they went rolling thereafter.
Fortunately, you didn't say it any earlier, I guess, put it that way. But the Warriors really looking good that first quarter again, and looking good the first half of that second quarter. And then, as you mentioned, just kind of, I don't know, just lost their composure there for a while, and weren't able to make some, missed a lot of free throws, and just passes a little helter-skelter here and there, and everything going right for Baldwin at that point. So they're definitely back in the ballgame. It's going to be a good second half.
Definitely so. The thing that kind of sticks out off paper at me is the fact that we do not have a three-pointer in the first half. Even last year, I believe we had at least one three-pointer in each half, if not each quarter. I mean, we could hit from the outside at least last year. And somehow that part of our game has really died after the early moments of the New Richmond game. We just haven't even come close since then. So, I see a lot of hesitation out there. And I don't know, to me, I've looked at openings or opportunities tonight that were not taken. And there again, I'm not saying that they should have gone, but if they did want to go, I think the opportunities have been there tonight. And I guess we're just playing the inside game. I don't know.
Well, I think maybe there's some truth, to what you're saying, but I think we only took a couple of shots, first of all, from the three-point range, and we'll find out here.
Well, I guess my point is that I see hesitation out there. And now that's what I see. That doesn't mean that's what it is.
When you're playing a fast-paced game as we're playing, and you're looking for the open man, and you're coming down the floor and you're pressing it into the basket like that, you're not going to get a lot of those shots from outside, because the guys are open and they're getting the ball underneath the basket, and you have to make those easy baskets. And that's what they're trying to do. So consequently, you don't throw it back out and get many three-point chances. A couple of times when we had to set up, then we did get a three-point chance. But we'll come down right away and look for the open man. You're not going to get many of those.
We'll talk about this on Monday morning.
Whatever.
Let's run down the individual scoring for you quickly. For the Amery Warriors, Marcus Wilhelm with no points and one foul in that first half. Gabe Brotzel with 9 points and no fouls. Koppinger with 8 points and no fouls. Jake Ginter with 8 points, 2 fouls. Scott Jensen with 6 points and 3 fouls. Coming off the bench, Matt Lindy, no points, no fouls, and Maya Fredrickson with no points and no fouls. Now looking at the Baldwin Woodville Blackhawks. Sean Tim, the freshman, 4 points on the evening and 3 fouls. Brian Rich with 3 points, 2 fouls. Matt Devos with 4 points, no fouls. Scott Peavy with 10 points and no fouls. Coming off the bench, or check that one more on the starter there, Brad Nadeau with 2 points and 3 fouls. Coming off the bench, Gary Hansen with 2 points, 1 foul. Spencer Weikstra with no points, 1 foul. Jesse Berg with no points, no fouls. And Ryan Paul with 2 points and no fouls. 18-10 Amery after 1. And again, our halftime score here, Amery 31, Baldwin Woodville 27. Back with more after this 1-minute timeout. Welcome back once again, everyone. Halftime from Amery. Middle Border Conference High School boys basketball. And embrace rain oyster. As I look ahead in the schedule now, we will be going to Osceola next Tuesday. I believe that's at Osceola. And then we'll be going to St. Croix Falls on Saturday. So this is a very big game for Amery. I don't know what the schedule is for the Blackhawks, but when you're going to move away from conference play, you'd certainly like to leave with a win, especially when we have expectations like we have this year.
Well, I think you're right, Bill. You always want to get a win, especially at home, and a conference win. But I really think that the Warriors have the horsepower and the manpower out there, I guess, to really come out with an excellent record, I guess, at the end of the year. We thought we could even, stick with New Richmond, and New Richmond has probably got as fine a basketball team as we're going to see here in a long time here. Not only they got size, but they have some speed and some good shooters. So I look for wonderful things to come out of New Richmond, and I think that our kids show that they can stick with them. And we played really well here the first quarter, the first quarter and a half here tonight. We just need to get back to our ball game and put the pressure on them and have them creating the turnovers rather than us.
Definitely so. It kind of just was a complete flip-flop there for a quarter and a quarter, 1 1/4. I don't know. 125 or
about 4 minutes or so.
Something like that. Well, we had a good time there for a quarter and part of that second quarter. Then somehow the Blackhawks just plain got things turned around. Otherwise, we could be looking at a terribly lopsided score here at halftime.
Right, and I give them credit that they were able to fight back and get back into the ball game. And as we look forward to the second half here, it's going to be a real interesting up and down the floor. And hopefully that we're going to have less turnovers than they do.
Well, you take a look at the Blackhawks. Against Spring Valley, Nadeau had 16, Tim with 11, and Hansen with 8, Rich with 5, and Devos with 5. Peavy had 4. Then you look at the Barron game, Hansen with 11, Rich with 10, Devos with 7, Davis with 7, and Peavy with 6. And Tim did not play in that contest, but he came back against Bloomer and scored 20, and followed by Ryan Paul with 7, and Rich and Hansen and Peavy and Weikstra each with 2. So in that contest, by the way, against Bloomer, the Blackhawks with 32 free throws, and now this is the Bloomer Blackhawks, and Baldwin Woodville Blackhawks with 6, and the final margin 54-37. So the Blackhawks of Bloomer had a good night from the free throw line, and I guess I don't know if I want to say anything more about that game or not. Let's see what. Baldwin had a 9-point lead in the first half, and they lose at 56-47. So. It's kind of been up and down for the Blackhawks, and I think they have a few more trips to make before they really start to gel, and when they do, it's going to take a good team to beat them.
Well, I'm sure it will, and like I said, they haven't had much success down there, and they finally got some kids who I think can play, and they're lacking a big man. It would help them if they had some size, but they're real scrappy, and they didn't give up. They came back real strong, so I look for a good second half.
And why I point those scores out, they have good balanced scoring. In that Ellsworth game, in which they won 64-56, Nadeau with 14, Devos with 14, Rich with 11, and Tim with 9. So Hansen and Peavy with 5. So everybody contributing as far as the offensive attack is concerned. And now we'll just have to wait and see who's going to put it together here, who heeds the words of their coaches. And let's tell you again as we begin things here in the second half, 31-27, Amery by 4, and the Blackhawks will have first possession. Hansen will throw it in to Brian Rich in that court. He'll get across against Gabe Brotzel. Moving right straight forward toward the top of the key. Comes near side to Devos. Matt with the basketball. Out on top they go to Gary Hansen. on the near side. That is Nader, who drives into the lane. He lost it, but a foul called down low. It'll be go against Wilhelm, and Marcus picks up number 2. So the Blackhawks will throw it in from the baseline under the hoop, and it looks like Gary Hansen will do that. And, well, all right, he finally gets the basketball. Koppinger putting pressure on down low, and alley-oop way out high to Brian Rich. And left alone out there. Now Wilhelm comes out to put some light pressure on. Left side to go to Matt DeVos. Looking at Nadeau. Out on top, Rich again. Back to DeVos. Three-point attempt on the way and no good. Rebound pulled down by Peavy. Down low, tries a shot. It's good. And Peavy has been the man that slips through down there and connects. Give him 12. 31-29 at the 2-point game. Amery across. It was Brotzel going to Koppinger, far corner. The big guy in there for Amery. That is Scott Jensen. And, of course, Nadeau for the Blackhawks. Here's a pass to Brotzel. Taken away beautifully by Hansen. He slapped it out of his hands. And they come down with a fast break themselves. They find DeVos going in on the left side. Nice pass, and he connects for 2. It's now 31 all. So the Blackhawks have tied things up. Wilhelm across on the right side, out high, guarded by Hansen. Goes to Brotzel through his hand and taken away by Nadeau. Nadeau given off to Rich, and Rich across on the left side for the Blackhawks. They go to DeVos. DeVos guarded by Brotzel. Near side, they come to Hansen. Headed tip, picks it back up. Goes in the lane through Peavy's hands. Chased down, a scramble forward on the floor. Picked up by Peavy, given off to DeVos. And the Blackhawks will set it up once again. Near side to Hansen, to Peavy. From the post, his shot partially blocked. The rebound and comes down to the big guy, Scott Jensen. Left alone, he'll bring it down by himself. Across the end of the front court, coming near side, Koppinger, head of lane, and he's called for traveling. Well, he was leaning, and I don't know. They say he moved his feet, but we'll let it go and call it a turnover, and the Blackhawks will get it back. It comes into Hansen, to Peavy, into the front court. That is Nadeau driving, trying to go 2-on-1. Amery caught up to him. Back out on top to go to Rich. Brian Rich, top the key. Left side, Gary Hansen, guarded by Wilhelm. Inside they go to Nadeau. A foul called on Brotzel as he got a hand on the basketball and apparently another hand on Brad Nadeau. So Brotzel picks up number 1 as we see it from here. And the Blackhawks will have it from the baseline. Second team foul on Amery here in the second half. It's all tied 31-31. The Blackhawks taking on top to Rich. Left side, DeVos. Three-point attempt on the way. No good. Air ball picked away by Nadeau. He tries it, and it rolls through, and they're really getting them on top of the rim.
Well, once again, they're getting their rebound and getting the second shot. That's the key thing the Warriors are not doing. They're not getting those boards.
Amery in the front court, down by 2. They go to the big guy at the post, right side, trying to drive. He's hacked by Gary Hansen, and so Hansen picks up number 2. Well, 5:44 to go in the third quarter. And, you know, you look at that 17-point lead, but there again, that just was not indicative of what Baldwin Woodville can do, so that's a little deceiving, and now we see it on the scoreboard as they lead by a couple, 33-31. Amery in the front court, they go to Brotzel. He drives the right, puts one up off the glass, good, and he draws a foul, so Brotzel hits. With that, give him 11. And as the referee comes to center court, the foul is called on, must be number 10, Brian Rich, is all I can make of it, or was it number 11?
Well, he wasn't happy about it, so I would guess it had to be number 10. We'll wait and see what the scoreboard tells us.
Well, Brotzel will step to the line trying for the three-point play. Brian Rich is called number 3. And Brotzel stepping in. 33-33. A tie game from Amery. And the free throw by Brotzel is good, so give him 12. And now Amery by 1. Well, the Blackhawks will throw it in here. And it'll be Matt DeVos to do that. And we've got, what do we got, a contact missing or what?
No, there's a little plate over there that must be sticking up a little. There it went down. It's the volleyball standard plate that sometimes sticks up.
Well, Scott the House Jensen taking care of that along with the referee, and play resumes now. The Blackhawks will bring it down. Now we got a 2-on-1. And Nadeau brings it in by himself. Got caught underneath. Still scoots one up there. No good rebound tipped around and pulled out of there by Koppinger. On the run into the front court. One man to get by. Waits for the rest of the crew. Gives off to Brotzel. High on the left side to Jensen at the free throw line. Gets by the defense. Goes down low. Puts it up off the glass, and it's good. What a move by the big guy. It is now 36-33. Amery by that much. And as the Blackhawks throw it in, they try to come near side to DeVos. Knocked out of bounds by Brotzel. And out of bounds to the Blackhawks on the baseline. They'll have to go the length. 5:10 to go, third quarter. Amery leads it 36-33. Inbound pass goes to Peavy. He races into the front court. Has the ball tipped away by Brotzel or Koppinger. And the ball caught up to by Jensen. He knocked it off the legs of Peavy and out of bounds to the Amery Warriors. He did the only thing he could do, and it worked.
Yeah, it was a situation, I'm sure, where the coach or Peavy would have liked to have that over again. He just should have never kept going. He had, there was no place for him to go by himself.
And as you mentioned that, here's an alley-oop from Wilhelm intended for Ginter. And it's too long beyond his fingertips, taken away by the Blackhawks. And now as they try to bring it out, Koppinger to take it away. He'll bring it down the near side, dishes off in the lane to Brotzel. A fadeaway jump shot off the glass is good. And Brotzel now with 14. 38-33, Amery by 5. As the Blackhawks try to bring it down, is it Brotzel, I think, called for a foul, trying to take the ball away. In the backcourt, let's take a look now. That would be number 2 on Brotzel.
Oh, Ginter.
Ginter, okay. I was just going to say it would be 2 on Gabe. Let's take a look at Jake. That would be number 3 on him. And he'll be coming out of there, and Maya Fredrickson back in. Inbound pass goes to Peavy. Into the front court to Nadeau on the near side. Against the big guy, backs out of there. And as he tries to clear out, picked up by Wilhelm, disc off to Brotzel, down low, and he takes it in by himself, missed the shot, rebound, pulled down by Johanson. Give it off to Rich. The Blackhawks on the run into the front court. They go left side to DeVos, down low on the baseline, shot put up, missed, rebound. It is a big guy, Jensen, who comes down with it. Give it off to Wilhelm. He comes down quickly for Amery, now pulls up. Still with the basketball, goes across the top of the key. Pull-up jump shot on the way. A short rebound, loose, pulled away by Fredrickson. And before he can get a shot off somebody, have we got a foul or what happened down there?
Ball on Peavy.
Well, I don't understand pointing at the floor. That, all right, Peavy is the call, as you mentioned, Ray. That would be his first as we see it from here. And Amery will have it from the baseline. Matt Lindy back in there. Wilhelm will get a rest. 38-33, Amery by 5. 4:01 to go in this third quarter. Inbound pass goes to Koppinger, trying to go by the defense. Out on top, Brotzel. Down the lane he comes. Puts it up. It is no good, but he draws the foul, and he'll go to the line for 2. All right, Gary Hansen is called for the Blackhawks. That would be number 3 on him, the second here in the third quarter. And again, we mentioned Brotzel stepping to the line.
Well, the Warriors still need to make a few more of these free throws here.
Well, the first one on the way and good. Brotzel now has hit 3 in a row. 15 points for Gabe Brotzel. The second one missed, rebound to the big guy Jensen, put up there good by the House. The House now with 10, and Amery leads at 42-33. Full court pressure by the Warriors. The Blackhawks handle it beautifully. Hands it down, trying to go down low to number 42 back in there. That is Ryan Paul. And as it goes out of bounds to Amery, Scott Benoit calls timeout for the Blackhawks. As they talk things over, let's go back now for 1 minute and 42 seconds to go in the third quarter. Amery leading now 41-33, and they will have the basketball after the timeout by Baldwin Woodville. Scott the House Jensen will throw it in from the baseline. And Amery will have to take it the length of the court, and no pressure put on by the Blackhawks. Lindy takes the inbound pass. Comes across on the right side. Sean Tim on him. They go to Koppinger. Out on top, Brotzel. To the post, right side, Koppinger. Pulls up right side of the key now to Lindy. Looking down low. Right side to Brotzel. Moving toward the corner. Back out. Gives off to Koppinger. Inside to the big guy. Jensen on the baseline. Puts it up and rolls out of there. Rebound comes down to Paul. The Blackhawks on offense. They're trailing by 8, 41-33. 3:14 to go, third quarter. It is Rich at the top of the key. Brotzel on him as they go to Ryan Paul. Jump shot from the post left side is up, no good. Rebound, tipped, and chased down by Maya Fredrickson. Give it off to Matt Lindy. The Koppinger into the front court left side. Picked up by DeVos. He goes to the post, does not go. Gives it off to Lindy. Lindy with the basketball. Back to the House left side, out of the lane. On top, Brotzel. Gabe Brotzel, guarded by Rich. Has the ball tipped away, picked up by Brotzel, and Rich gets too close. Brian Rich has just committed his 4th foul. Tough break for the Blackhawks. And let's take a look now. Jesse Berg will have to come back in for the Blackhawks, and Rich is going to have to come out of there. That's going to hurt. Well, let's take a look. Ginter coming back in, Wilhelm coming back in. And Brotzel and Scott the House Jensen will get a rest. Koppinger to throw it in from the right side. Matt Lindy with the inbound pass. Out high. Alley-oops to Wilhelm near side. Marcus left side of the key. Fakes. Now goes right side to Koppinger. He steps between the defense, goes to Wilhelm. Right side to Koppinger. Far corner, that's Lindy. Koppinger, right side, goes to Ginter. Down low, Maya was not ready for it. They called him out the Blackhawks.
I'm not so sure that was a good call either.
They
missed a few under the basket, I think, tonight, in terms of out of bounces.
Amery may have dodged one here. Inbound pass goes to Ginter. On top, Lindy. Right side, Koppinger to Wilhelm. Far side, three-point attempt on the way. Good. Wilhelm hits for the first time, and that is a big, big basket. 44-33, Amery by 11. That'll warm up the defense. Hansen brings it across, gives off to Tim. Down to the baseline, alley-oops down low. It's to number 42, Paul. And Paul, with a good touch, puts it in for the Blackhawks. Amery into the front court. 44-35, Amery by 9. They have the basketball. Mike Fredrickson goes to Wilhelm. To Ginter on the baseline. Dribbled once. Back out on top to Wilhelm. Right side to Koppinger. Matt with the basketball, gives off to Matt Lindy, far side. Lindy across the lane to Wilhelm. Guarded by Tim. In the lane to Ginter. Left side, Fredrickson. Set shot, baseline, good. Fredrickson hits. And now what? Something called. We may have another technical here.
Ginter for throwing the ball.
Well, it was a technical. The second one called on the Amery Warriors tonight. And if it's against Ginter, that's number 4 on him. As we get a clear explanation from the referee, and the Blackhawks will send somebody to the line.
He, just slapped the ball out of bounds, and, that's the wide open part of our floor, so it goes all the way to the wall, and they call the technical on for it.
Well, I'm sure it was the farthest thing from his mind to be obstructing the game in any manner. So I don't know. The call was made. At the line is the freshman, Sean Tim, who put it through. So with that, give him 5.
Our sharp cameraman over here said that's the same thing they called on House on the other end over here. I didn't catch that one. I didn't know what the House had done, but evidently the same thing.
Well, Tim to try it again. And on the way, and this one's good. That freshman is something to be reckoned with as far as the opposition is concerned, and a beautiful addition to the Middle Border Conference. Sean Tim of the Baldwin-Woodville Blackhawks. 46-37. Amery by 9. Inbound pass goes to the Blackhawks. And they go down low. That is DeVos with the basketball. And he has it kicked away by Fredrickson out of bounds to the Blackhawks in the far corner. 1:23 to go in this third quarter. It has taken some time, Ray.
Yes, it has.
This is
interesting how it goes up and down, and then it takes a little while once, here and there.
Hansen out on top as play resumes. Ball almost taken away by Koppinger on the far side. Up the hands of DeVos, and out out to the Amery Warriors. Good play by Koppinger. Maya Fredrickson will throw it in from across the way with 1:16 to go third quarter. The Warriors in the front court. Wilhelm out high on the left side. Goes to the circle, right side, Lindy down to the far corner. Brotzel for the three-pointer. No good. Rebound. Pulled away by DeVos. Throws it off the feet of Fredrickson and out of bounds to the Blackhawks on the baseline. 46-37, Amery by 9.
Maybe they call a technical on that. He has to go all the way out in the hallway to get it.
I guess things have a way of evening out, do they not? Well, the referee had to go all the way out into the hallway, and it's a good distance from where the ball left the court. DeVos will throw it in, goes to Peavy. Bounce pass on the near side. Hansen races into the front court. Down low they go. That is Paul. Alley-oops across the lane, far side. Set shot on the way, and in and out, and back in for Tim. Tim hits from the outside for the first time, gave him 9. Now it's 46-40. 44 seconds to go to close out this quarter. Amery's setting to close things out with one shot here. We're down to 36 seconds. The Warriors keep it on the perimeter. Brotzel on the near side. The Blackhawks content to let them throw it around out there. Lindy, Wilhelm, and Brotzel playing catch. Lindy, top of the key. We're down to 22 seconds. Fredrickson comes up high now. Koppinger down low. Brotzel at the free throw line. And now Fredrickson throws it across to Wilhelm. Out high on the right side with 11 seconds to go. They go to Lindy. Down low, Brotzel on the baseline, almost lost it. Out to Lindy. Three-point attempt on the way is in and out. Rebound pulled down by Paul. Given up to Tim in the backcourt. Backcourt shot on the way is close, but no good. And our third quarter score. The Amery Warriors 46. The Blackhawks 40. We're back in 1 minute. 46-40 our score as the fourth and final quarter begins. Brotzel has it high on the left side. Goes to Wilhelm. Drives to the right side, back to Gabe. Wide open three-point attempt on the way, no good. Rebound, Sean Tim. The Blackhawks with a chance to move within 4 and maybe 3. Tim across, goes in the lane. A lunging shot, no good, but a foul called on one of the Warriors. Apparently, is it going to be Ginter? If so, that would be number 5. Well, the referee coming over to the near side. No, it's going to be 34. That would be Gabe Brotzel. And as we take a look there, number 2 on Gabe. So Tim draws the shooting foul, so he'll step to the line for a couple. Just hit 2 there. He is 4 out of 4 tonight. And this one on the way is no good off the back of the rim. Tim with 9 points in the contest. He had 20 against the Bloomer Blackhawks. Tim to try it again. Bouncing the ball once. And now the shot is on the way, and it is off the back of the rim. Rebound comes down to Brotzel. So he missed them both, and that could loom large as the game wears on. Here is Wilhelm in the front court. Left side of the key goes high to Koppinger out high on the right side. To Brotzel. Down low to Ginter to Jensen. They got by him, picked up by Wilhelm in the lane. Dish down low to the big guy. Back out to Koppinger. Wow, Amery dodged one there. As a pass to Brotzel by Ginter. Too high. Brotzel moved by it. The Blackhawks get it. And they'll bring it across. Gary Hansen brought it across, comes near side to Tim, goes by the defense, jump shot put up, no good, rebound, what for, and tipped into the hands of Peavy, who throws it up there, and it goes through. Peavy with 14, what a game he's had.
Absolutely, just playing very well, getting those baskets, those rebounds, putting them back up, and doesn't miss underneath there.
Well, too bad Amery had 2 rebounders that time. As we mentioned that, the ball forced down low by Wilhelm, intended for Ginter, and it's knocked out of bounds by the Blackhawks, and out of bounds to the far side. 6:42 to go in the contest. 46-42, Amery by 4. They have the basketball, but this one a long way from being over. Koppinger from the far corner. We'll throw it in. Let's wait and see. It goes to Brotzel in the far corner. Peavy on him. He'll dribble once, clears it out to Wilhelm. It goes in the circle and comes to Koppinger in the lane. Ginter out to Wilhelm. Three-point attempt on the way. No good. Rebound. Jensen had it taken away by Tim. Given off on the left side. Divas brought it across for the Blackhawks. Drives to the near side by Wilhelm, picked up by Hansen. Looking down low. Across the lane they go. Picked up by Divas. Drives in, stripped by Ginter, and he's out of the ball game. Jake Ginter has just picked up number 5. That comes with 6:15 to go. And he will leave with 8 points. So a tough break for Jake Ginter. And let's see who's going to be coming in here now. It'll be Maya Fredrickson. Matt DeVos will be going to the line. Let's take a look now. DeVos with 6 points. This will be his first trip to the free throw line. Well, the Blackhawks would love to win this one.
Well, the key thing for them, I think, just like we've talked about so often, is to try and stay close at the end so you get a chance to win. And right now they're managing to do that. So the Warriors passing the ball fairly well on the basket, but just, I mean, the guys are open. They're just not hanging on to it.
All right, now we've got a rebound by the Blackhawks after the second shot is missed. Gary Hansen took it away from everybody. You mentioned that, Ray. The second one was missed by DeVos, and Gary Hansen muscled it away from everybody. Nadu, rather. And he ended up on the deck, and they called him for traveling. So Amery brings it across after the turnover. They go to Jensen, right side to Koppinger. Matt with 2 put on him. Dribbles out of there, out high to Wilhelm. Marcus with the basketball. Alley-oop to Jensen, top the key, right side. Marcus down low. They go to Koppinger on the baseline. He'll go back out to Wilhelm. Wanted to go for 3. Gives off to Jensen at the free throw line. Shot put up and rolled through for the big guy. Jensen now with 12. A big basket. And it's 48-43. Amery by 5. Full court pressure again by the Warriors. And the Blackhawks turn it over. Koppinger brings in the cross after a steal by Wilhelm. Pull-up jump shot on the way and good by Koppinger. And Amery with 4 quick points. 50-43. Amery by 7. The Blackhawks, Hansen brings it across. Goes left side down low. Nadeau there puts a shot up. Missed rebound. House says no. It's pulled away by Koppinger. Wow, he's got somebody. He tries to get it to Wilhelm before he can get it across. It's a foul called on Sean Tim. And Tim will pick up number 4. Well, it's too bad that Met could not get a handle on that basketball. We had 2 people in the front court wide open.
Absolutely. And they were, once again, the Warriors get that running game going. And that's what they've got to do here to try and pick up the tempo.
Well, a tough break for the Blackhawks as Tim picks up 4. Amery will throw it in from across the way. Fredrickson to Wilhelm. And Marcus across and out high. Now it goes in the lane to the big guy, and they'll call it for traveling. Well, tough break. He put it through, but he was kind of shuffling and waiting for the ball, and he drew a lot of attention, and that's the call. And so the Amery Warriors turn it over, and the Blackhawks get it back. Peavy with the inbound pass goes to Tim. Tim in the backcourt. Against Brotzel, brings it across, goes to Brian Rich back in there with 4 fouls. And Wilhelm will be called for a body check out high on the left side. So Marcus picks up number 3. 4:59 to go in the contest. We're going to have a timeout. 50-43, Amery by 7. We're back in 1 minute. Well, the Band Boosters putting on a dinner prior to the contest tonight.
Choir boosters.
Choir boosters. The Band Boosters are selling chocolate out there. I just happened to not be able to walk by that.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't believe that you'd do a thing like that.
Yeah, I had to stop and purchase a couple of candy bars, and as I mentioned that, to Rich at the free throw line after that half-court foul, and Rich puts it through with that, giving him 4 points, and it's now 50-44. Amery by 6, and Rich with a chance to make it a 5-point game. The second one is on the way. That's good as well. So now it is 50-45. Inbound pass goes to Wilhelm. Full court pressure by the Blackhawks. Amery breaks it easily. 3-on-2, and they give a pass off to Fredrickson from Brotzel. He takes it in on the right side, and it's good. And Fredrickson with 2 key baskets in this ball game for 4 points, and it's now 52-45. In the backcourt, it is Rich against the defense. Brings it across by himself. Pushes off on the left side to Nadeau. Rich gets it back top. He guarded by Wilhelm. Now they come right side to Matt DeVos. Down to the baseline. Tim, set shot blocked by Brotzel. Tipped around, loose underneath. Picked up by Nadeau. Put it up, and it's good. Wow, he worked for that one and got it. Give him 6. Amery down quickly. Fredrickson right side. Now across the lane they go to Brotzel. Wide open, steps in. Off the glass, his shot is good. And a foul called down low. And if it's on Nadeau, he's out of the ball game. Have I got to do that? No, that's his 4th.
Could be 4. They have a couple people with 4 now, however, too.
All right, the important thing is Brotzel gets the 2 points, give him 17. Amery now leads at 54-47, 7-point game. And Brotzel with a chance to make it a 3-point play. Brotzel stepping in. The free throw on the way is good. So give him 18. And Amery now leads at 55-47. Full court pressure by the Warriors. Rich in the backcourt. And they'll collapse on him. And he gets it off on the left side to DeVos. And DeVos across on the left side. Back out to Rich. Now down low, DeVos. Guarded by Koppinger. Drives toward the post. Gives off to Rich on the near side. Goes down low. It's Peavy. Around the big guy goes. And we've got a call underneath. 3 seconds called on the Blackhawks. Well, Peavy should have taken the shot in my book.
Yeah, he should have.
And instead, the Blackhawks down low waiting for the rebound, and they get caught camping. So now it's at the turnover, and Amery back on offense. 55-47. 3:45 to go. Amery with the lead. Wilhelm comes near side to Brotzel, guarded by Sean Tim. Now to Jensen. Out on top, Brotzel. Brotzel holding on. Inside to Fredrickson, to the post, Jensen. One dribble, out on top, right side to Wilhelm. 3:25 to go. To Brotzel. Amery with the 8-point lead. And now a pass down low to Koppinger, and Koppinger with a jump shot is good, give him 12, and Amery now leads it by 10. A trap put on at the timeline by Brotzel. He went high, and he comes down landing on Brian Rich. That's a tough break, especially when the play was all over with.
But it still is a good call by the official. He
Definitely so.
Yep.
So Brotzel has just picked up foul number 3. And the Blackhawks will go to the line. That'll be Brian Rich, the 6-foot sophomore. 5 points on the evening. He just hit a couple from the line moments ago. 3:10, that much time remaining. Brian Rich at the line. The first one is on the way, and it is good. So Rich with 3 in a row. With that, give him 6 points on the night and a chance to make it 7. 57-48. The second one is on the way, good again. So 4 in a row for Brian Rich, and the Blackhawks with full court pressure. Amery goes to Fredrickson, back to Jensen, across into the front court by himself. Needs help, and comes near side to Koppinger. Right side to Fredrickson, 2:58 to go. Maya drives to the key, gives off to Koppinger. Looking at the big guy down low. Now to Wilhelm, top of the key, guarded very closely by Sean Tim. To Fredrickson, and he gets pressure from Scott Peavy. To the top of the key, Fredrickson goes to Koppinger in the circle, almost lost it. Now to Wilhelm. Sean Tim on him with 2:35 to go. A pass to Brotzel. Tipped away and a scramble for it, and a foul called on Peavy as he collides with Fredrickson, and Peavy picks up foul number 2. Well, the Blackhawks want to talk it over. Amery leads at 57-49. We're back in one. Maya Fredrickson will step in with 2:33 to go in the contest after the timeout by the Blackhawks. Throw missed by Maya. Rebound comes down to the Blackhawks. They whip her into the front court. And it is DeVos who comes up on top to Rich. Left side, Sean Tim. 3-point attempt on the way. Good by Sean Tim. Gives him 12. Now it's 57-52, a 5-point game. Fredrickson in the backcourt. Brings it across against Peavy. Whips it to Koppinger. Guarded closely by Rich, or check that, by DeVos. Koppinger comes across the top of the key. Needs help, and will go to Wilhelm with a bounce pass on the near side. Tim all over him. Out on top to Fredrickson. Right side, it is Jensen. Jensen with the basketball. Goes to Wilhelm. They almost threw it away. Marcus drives in, gives off to Koppinger. Right back to Jensen. Goes down low before he can get to a foul on Peavy. And Peavy, or check that, Nito, I beg your pardon, and he is out of the ball game. Number 5, Brad Nadeau, and he will leave the game at 1:50, and he scored 6 points on the evening. So now let's take a look. It will be Ryan Paul coming in. Peavy is out of there. Or check, Peavy's going to get a rest. Nadeau is out of there. Wow, there's no way I'll ever get those two straight tonight.
Nadeau has fallen out. Peavy just took a little rest here, as you mentioned.
Well, Hansen is in along with Ryan Paul for the Blackhawks. Jensen at the free throw line. The shot is on the way and is good. So the big guy now with 13 points. Amery's lead is 58-52 with 1:50 to go. And the house to try it again. The shot is on the way, and this one is good as well. So he takes advantage. And now Amery back to a 7-point lead. Gary Hansen races into the front court. Wow, nothing called. The Warriors take it away. I think Gary was expecting the whistle, got caught underneath and did nothing. And I don't know, it's kind of a hard one to explain. I've got it in my mind, but there's no way I can spit it out here. Nonetheless, Amery in the front court with the basketball after the turnover. Fredrickson to Koppinger with 1:27 to go, and Rich all over him. He whips it to the big guy in the far corner. Now to Brotzel, and before he can get loose for a shot that does not go, a foul called on the far side. It'll be against number 42, Ryan Paul.
I think it's on number 10, Rich.
Well, if that's the case, Brian Rich is out of there. The second man for the Blackhawks to fall out, and Amery wants to call timeout with 1:22 to go. Amery leads at 59-52. We'll get things straightened out after this 1-minute break. 59-52. Amery by 7. And Gabe Brotzel going to the line. Gabe with 18 points on the evening. He is 4 out of 8 from the line tonight. He'll be shooting 1-1. He was fouled by Brian Rich of the Blackhawks. That was his 5th. He's out of the ball game. The free throw by Brotzel is good. 19 points for the 6'3" senior. Brotzel to try again.
Free throws are going to be all important here down the stretch. Baldwin's going to have to fall to try and get the ball back. So,
second one missed. Rebound comes down to Hansen. He passes into the front court to DeVos. Down low he comes. The driving layup is good by DeVos. He went over the big guy, and Scott just let him go. And before Brotzel can get into the front court, after taking the inbound pass, he is fouled on the far side by DeVos. That is his first. So DeVos picks up number 1. After scoring that driving layup. And again, Gabe Brotzel going to the line, shooting 1-1.
He's going to get a lot of free throw action tonight anyway here.
Amery leading 60-54. The free throw is good by Gabe Brotzel, and with that now, he has 20 points on the evening. 61-54, Amery by 7. The second one is on the way, and this one is good. So Brotzel hits them both, and Amery back to a 8-point lead. The Blackhawks in the front court. Long shot from the left side, up and no good by Hansen. Rebound to the house. Into the front court. Brotzel by himself. Here comes the driving layup. Good. Brotzel with 22 points. 64-54. Amery by 10. Sean Tim across by himself. Left side they go to Hansen. 3-point attempt up and in and out. Rebound. Tipped around and out of bounds. It'll be Blackhawk basketball. Good call by the referee. With 42.1 seconds to go, Matt Lindy will be coming back in, and Maya Fredrickson coming up. Well, it'll be Matt DeVos, the 5'11" senior, to throw it in for the Blackhawks. From the baseline, let's see where it goes. Down low, and a shot put up and good. No, in and out by Berg. Rebound tipped into the hands of Brotzel, and Berg hanging out for a ride down the court. So Jesse picks up number 1. Center down to the other end of the court, where Amery will go to the free throw line with 37.5 seconds.
Well, if Gabe can put in a couple more here, definitely going to kind of ice the game, I think. Put it out of reach with only, as you mentioned, 38 seconds here to go. 37.5 to be exact, I guess.
Oh, I have to recheck here now. Brotzel at the line, puts it through now, and what I'm talking about is 24 points now for Brotzel. 65-54, Amery by 11. And the second one no good. And the Blackhawks with the rebound. Bring her down, try to whip her into the front court to DeVos, wide of the mark and out of bounds to Amery. With 32.6 seconds to go, Amery will take it the length of the court. And now Johanson, Mike Johanson will come in for the first time tonight. And Koppinger comes out, and what a ball game he has played. Mike Johanson in for the first time tonight. Inbound pass will go to Brotzel. They're on him immediately. And Brotzel will go to the line once again as DeVos picks up foul number 2. That stops the clock with 31.5 seconds to go.
All that action we had there for a total of 6 seconds?
Not much. Number 40 for the first time for Baldwin Woodville. Well, let's see. Tony Gagnon coming in for Amery. Number 40 is Abe Hebink of the Blackhawks in there for the first time. 31.5 seconds to go on the Pepsi scoreboard. Brotzel at the line, and the free throw on the way is no good off the front of the rim. And the Blackhawks with the rebound. DeVos across, goes left side, taken away by Gagnon, taken back by Tim. Across the lane they go to Berg. He'll put it up, blocked by Jensen into the crowd on the near side, and the Blackhawks will have to throw it in. Well, Scott looking at that one for a couple of seconds and says, here's what I'm going to do.
Absolutely. He came just to hustling out from inside. Good defense on his part and good hustle to get out there and knock that ball out of the air.
All right, Ebink with the toss in. They whip it around and come down low to Tim. 3-point attempt, missed. Rebound low, down low, put up and good by Paul. Ryan Paul with 6. A long pass down the other end. Good to Brotzel, and Brotzel capitalizes with 2 points. And the game is going to end. A three-point attempt by Tim from the left side is no good. And Amery wins it by 10, or is it by 12? By 12. The final here, the Amery Warriors 68, the Baldwin Woodville Blackhawks 56. Back to talk about it, give you a rundown on the scoring, and talk with both coaches right after this one.